Hello and welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to give our future virtual machine a way to the internet by creating a public IP. So let's get started. Alright, so here we are with the Azure RM Public IP. Pretty straightforward. We've got a name, a resource group name, location, allocation method. Here you'll see static. We're going to be using dynamic, and then some tags. You scroll down, you can see we've got a lot of different options here. But the only one we're really concerned with is the allocation method, since we're going to be using dynamic instead of static. Alright, feel free to peruse those a little bit, but let's go ahead and get started with our coding. So I'm actually going to just copy this here. Let's go ahead and add that. Just like so, Azure RM Public IP. In our case, we're going to name this MTC-IP. We'll keep it very simple. And then the name, once again, let's keep it simple with MTC-IP. And I do want to call attention to this again. In the case of this deployment, it is a very static deployment. There's not going to be a lot changing, not going to be a lot adding. This is really just a way for us to deploy a simple and quick development environment. So we're not going to have multiple IPs necessarily, or multiple security groups or whatever. Now, if you do anticipate adding things, you're going to want to make sure you add either a number to this or some other string, or even use a random ID resource, which Terraform offers, to append some sort of random string to the end of these so that if you do deploy multiple, you don't have overlaps. So just keep that in mind. But in our case, we're going to keep it simple. Then for the resource group name, let's go ahead and add our MTC-RG like we have before. And of course, the location, MTC-RG. And we're going to change this allocation method to dynamic, just as we saw. And for tags, let's go ahead and just set it to dev. All right. Perfect. I think that should be everything. Let's go ahead and run our Terraform FMT. Then let's run our Terraform plan. All right, everything looks good. As you can see, we've got our dynamic there, MTC IP. Everything is looking correct as far as I can tell. Now, one thing to note, even though it says there's an IP address known after apply, it will not be known after apply. This is kind of a strange thing about the way Azure works. The public IP, when set as dynamic, will not show up until it's attached to something and used. So just keep that in mind. All right, I'm going to run our Terraform apply, auto approve. All right, apply complete, perfect. Go ahead and run our Terraform state list. And then what I'm going to do is grab this IP right here, and I'm going to copy that, Control C for me. Let's run a Terraform state show and paste that in. There we go. And as you can see, we do not have an IP address here. But once we deploy our other resources, we will be able to extract that IP address and use it in the future. All right, so that's all for this lesson. Go ahead and mark it complete. Come on back to the next one and let's continue building.